on the Hood Table, or whether you're watching me on our Facebook page on the Hood. Today, I just want to talk a little bit about the situation that's going on as of late regarding Tyler, aka Ty Thomas, usually called Ty or known by Ty. I want to discuss a little bit about what we have found out so far as of late, and kind of give people a little bit of back info, because a lot of people don't know about this case. They don't know about Ty's murder. They don't know about the suspect who has been, locked up for a while, and he's also already was serving time for a sexual assault. So he's been in prison. But hey, Betty White, how are you doing? You said quit stalking me, Deanna. But yeah, somebody had hit me up on Facebook. And they said, I'm not going to say the person's name. They might be tuning in. But they said, tell them a short story or synopsis of the young woman's death. Now, what I did was, in response to her remark, I gave her a link to a website, which was Omaha.com, for her to see what the story was all about. But anyway, I'm bringing up my links over here on my other computer. Oh, let's see. Okay. So for those of you who have no knowledge of this situation, or for those of you who know about it and kind of like forgot like some of the details, basically a young lady, she was in college. She was attending Peru State like 10 years ago. She had came up missing. And the last person who was known to have seen her or been with her right before she was missing was a man by the name of Joshua Keadle. Now, Joshua Keadle, it was said at that time, around that time, that he was always trying to get with her and get with different people. And she would, time and time again, turn him down or whatnot. And then one night, after a party, he had volunteered to take her home or something to that effect. And he said that he had made some advances toward her, and he offered her a ride in exchange for sex. And basically she didn't want to have sex with him, and she got angry and got upset and threatened to report him because I guess he had got a little physical. Now, what he told the police originally was he was never with her. He wasn't around her, anything like that. But people knew that he was the last person to spend some time with her, to see her. So eventually he finally confessed. And said that he was with her that night, and he told the police what happened about, him trying to have sex with her and she getting upset. And then he claimed that he left her at the river where they were at by the boat docks. And it just didn't add up. Things just didn't add up. So for a long time, they've been trying to figure out a way to plant charges on him, and basically we're up to where we are now. It has been 10 long years since the death of Ty. So right now, we and the Omaha community and all her friends and families is seeking justice for Ty. Now, the reason why I mainly did this video today was because her family, her mother, her grandmother, her family, her friends, they need as much support as possible. The case, she went missing in Peru, at Peru College. Now, that's a couple of hours away from Omaha. Her family is here in Omaha. The trial is down in Beatrice, which is like an hour and a half away. Yes, it's really sad, Deanna. It has been 10 years. And for, all those 10 long years, this guy, Joshua Keadle, he has basically kept silent and not told anything besides the fact that he left her at the boat dock by a river, which her friend said she would have never went to because the river freaked her out. And if you like me who can't swim, a river freaks me out too. So if anybody ever tell you that Tanya went to a river by a boat dock by the edge of the water, they lying. Do some investigation. Real talk. But so that's been his story for all this time. He claims he left her there, and he don't know what happened to her after that. But a lot of people believe that he is guilty, for murdering Tyler Thomas. And we are hoping during this trial, which is going to be approximately a 2-week trial, that, it will come out and we will get our, our wishes, that he will be found guilty. So now, as of late, like a few days ago, we started posting cash apps for the family of Ty, and they have reached their goal, which they have. So I want to thank everybody who contributed, for everybody who's been supporting the family, praying for the family, whether you donated or whether you just shared the post so that others could probably donate. I want to, give y'all a hand clap, Omaha, because y'all had definitely came through. Levon Stennis, I had posted her post on the Hood Table Facebook page. I had posted her post earlier because she wanted to say thank you to everybody, who had participated and who helped them raise the funds. It's really hard enough to have to go to a trial every day and look into the eyes of the person that you believe killed your loved ones. But to have to drive miles and miles to get to the trial, it's pretty taxing. It's already a lot of stress, and then you have the financial situation where you have to figure out if I'm going to stay there in a hotel, if we're going to drive back and forth every day. Back and forth every day, that's a 3-hour drive. So what they had done was they had created a cash app, and we have been posting it. Robert, if anybody knows Robert Wagner in Omaha, he's a well-known activist in our community. I love him, appreciate him for everything that he does in our community, from raising money for people in situations like this, for expenses, for housing, for travel expenses, to go to court. He didn't help raise money for people to get bonded out of jail, for lawyers, attorneys, rent, lights, gas, Christmas funds, the toy trek that he does every year, walking miles and miles and miles from like North Omaha to West Omaha, collecting toys along the way every single Christmas. He is an important part of our community, and I want to thank him for what he has done for this family as of lately in honor of Ty. Now, as far as the money that was raised, I believe it was, let me go down here. I want to make sure I get the exact amount. People might still have been donating, though, even though she posted a post that said, the funds have been raised. People probably have still been donating. If you're still donating, feel free. I don't know if she's going to close the Cash App out or not. I'm not sure. But as of the last time I checked, they have raised a total of I thought it was $1,600. It was $1,628. So Levon Stennis Williams says, thank you to the community. The community fundraiser to raise funds for the mother of Tyler Thomas has come to a close. So she did say it came to a close because she believes they have enough money for their expenses. The funds raised will be used to defray expenses for lodging, meals, transportation to attend the 3-week murder trial in Beatrice, Nebraska. She said the breakdown of the funds, just so people can know, everybody who, participated and who donated, $550 was a private donation for a 1-week hotel stay from the Williams. $938 was the community donation. So those of y'all in the community who donated, $938 was donated from you guys through the Cash App, and $20 through PayPal. And $140 was a community donation collected by Project Knows, which is keeping North Omaha safe every day. That is for everyone. I mean, that is through Robert Wagner, Project Knows. She said right now, at the appropriate time, Ty's mother, she will acknowledge this act of kindness shown to her. She was moved to tears when she was provided the update last night. The donations will be taken to her and by Robert Wagner. And as a member of the family, Levon Stennis says, I cannot express my appreciation. Thank you to all who have donated, and thank you to all who have shared the post or just offered up prayers. May God bless each and one of you. And she says, thank you again to Robert Wagner and Precious McKinson for helping get the message out. So again, thank you, Omaha. You guys have really stepped up. We literally just said the other day that we're going to post the Cash App so that this family does not have to come out of pocket or figure out how to get to trial each and every day, because that is very expensive. So again, thank you to everybody who participated. It is so expensive. And you said Betty White's million. Oh, Felicia, yes, it is really, really, really sad. It really is. It really is. And I'm going to pull up something else. Right now, well, tomorrow, well, okay, let me backtrack. The trial started Monday. After 10 years, the trial started Monday. So, as many people as possible, we are asking to attend the trial. If you can, if you don't work, or if you can take the time off of work. There's people taking caravans down there. There's people like tomorrow morning, it's going to be like me and 4 other people in a vehicle. We're going down to the trial tomorrow morning and by the way, it starts at 9 and it's in Gage County, Beatrice, Nebraska at the courthouse. And it starts at 9 and it ends around 5. We're going to stay, we're going to leave early in the morning, like probably around 6:30 a.m. to make sure we get good parking and get good seats. But for those of you guys who can support, please, please, we know people are praying. We know people are keeping them in support that way and people are donating. But the thing about it, you guys, we're here in Omaha. The court is an hour and a half away. The family, when they go down there, Ty's mother and, whoever else is with her, it's a small group of people. Down there, the guy who we hope get convicted for her murder, he has a lot of support down there, a lot of friends and family down there. So, it would be a really good thing to have as many of us as possible to travel down there, even if you go only once during the trial, even if you go one day, even if you stay for 2, 3, or 4 hours, that is so much support that the family would appreciate it. Of course, we wouldn't judge. We're not judging people who don't go. Like there was a post that Robert Wagner, the activist of Project Knows, that he had posted the other day, and he had asked the people to support, people in Omaha to support, and come out if you like, because he said something to the fact that Ty's family doesn't have that much support. But matter of fact, I want to say word for word what he said, because somebody was a little slightly offended by what he said, but I'm sure a lot of people understood what Robert was trying to say, and he didn't mean any harm by what he was saying when he had posted that. And again, keep in mind that Robert is an activist in North Omaha. He has done a lot for the community in Omaha, and what he was trying to do was just gain a lot more support for Ty's family, during this trial and everything. So he had made a post the other day, and I'm scrolling down right now so I can find it. He had made a post the other day, and it says, hold on, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Okay, here we go. Because I had shared it. Okay. But what it says is, oh, here it is. Okay, what the post says is, I'm going to read it verbatim. It says, if I can have everyone's attention, because I reposted it. If I can have everyone's attention for a second, this was Robert Wagner's post. It says, it's been 10 years since we saw this photo. He posted the missing photo of Ty Thomas. And he said, 10 years that a family has mourned, 10 years that the Omaha community saw one of their own go missing, 18 years after Kenyatta Bush, the murder trial for suspect Joshua Keadle has finally begun. The family of Ms. Thomas needs your support now more than ever. The trial will take well over 2 weeks, and not to mention the mental toll. Keadle has remained silent for 10 long years while this family has suffered. Imagine going through this with your loved ones and someone remaining silent. A parent knows the moment that bond is broken. Ty's mother, who has very little to no support at court, while the killer has family and a ton of support. I wish, okay, he says, but I'm asking everyone that can see this to take a moment to see what you can do to support Mrs. Thomas. We pray and pray and pray and pray, but I've been one to believe in action. And so now there was a comment, I guess one of the family members was a little bit offended about that post. And it was mainly because where he has said Ty's mother has very little to no support at court. But I think she might have missed that point right there, because she said her aunt, which is Ty's mother, has a lot of support from the entire family on both sides of the family. We have people who cannot be there due to work and other family dealing with tragedies at the same time. Trust, I'm glad everyone wants to support, but know all the facts before you say she does not have enough or little at all. Now, from what I read, from what Robert said to what the comment from the loved one said, what he was saying in defense of Robert, what he was saying was there is not a lot of support at court. And that's exactly what he said. He didn't mean that the family didn't have a lot of support. What he meant was at court. And he would like people who can to, although we're praying, anybody who can attend court. So he wasn't trying to say, no slight to the family of Ty. I'm positive that Ty's family receives a lot of emotional support, physical, emotional, spiritual, financial from the family. But what he was talking about was court. There's not a lot of people who can travel in the family or outside the family down there every day, because people have lives, they have jobs, they have kids, they have school, financial reasons or whatnot. So basically what Robert was trying to say was, if anybody at all has time or the resources to appear at court just to sit and just support Ty's mother while, they're going through this process, just so they can see, so Gage County, Beatrice, Nebraska can see that Ty has support. She has a lot of people here in Omaha who cares about her and who wants this case to be over with. And we want the outcome of Joshua Keadle to be found guilty. So just keep that in mind, you guys. He didn't mean any harm by what he said. And, I understand why, I understand. I see her point of view where she was like, oh, we got support. I understand what she was getting to. So no shade against the young lady at all. No shade against the young lady. I just want to make sure that people know that he meant well by his post. He meant well. He always means well when it comes to the community. If you don't know Robert Wagner, you should know him. You definitely should know him, because he does play a big role in our community, especially in a time of need for citizens here who might be going through things like losing a loved one, people who are hard workers, do a lot for the community and they fall on hard times, like rent can't be paid, or somebody goes to jail and he believes that it's a strong possibility that this person does not deserve to be locked up. It's been people who didn't have gas bills in the thousands of dollars. He didn't help raise money. So he always means well. He does, honestly. I wouldn't say that if I didn't really believe it. So on that note, if anybody at all can go to Beatrice, Gage County Court and support, if you can, if you can afford the time off, if you don't have a job, but you can afford to go, if you know somebody else who's going and you want to roll with them, please come support. I will be there tomorrow And I'm going to go next week. I can't go every day. I can't not go every day. I have a job like a lot of other people, but I'm going to go as much as I can. I have the kind of job where I work from home and I can just tell my boss within 24 hours I need this day off, and it's granted, so I can easily take off of work, and I have like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of PTO. So some people can go and some people can't. Hey, Empress Lisa, how you doing, hon? But yes, it does help, Betty White, when you have a gang of supporters. Betty White said in the comments, when you have a gang of supporters stand up when you're in court, it does make a big difference, especially when it comes to like the jury. Like, okay, as far as the jewelry down there, it's an all-white jewelry. This is a town much smaller than Omaha, Nebraska. It's an all-white jewelry, and the defendant is a white man who claims he didn't kill her. There's no evidence. They never found the body, but just based off of his story alone, the prosecutors and the defendant team believe that he was the last person to see her on the docks, on the boat docks of that river. So we're just hoping, that it works out. But for you guys who might want to come, the address down there at the courthouse is 612 Grant Street, Beatrice, Nebraska. It's the Gage County Courthouse. The Gage County Courthouse. And again, we will be there, me and a group of people, we will be there tomorrow morning. So if you see me, feel free to come sit with us or talk to us. I'm a very outgoing person, for those of you who might not know. So if you see me, I'm definitely going to say hi to you and give you a hug. And, thank you for, supporting Ty and everything. But yeah, the jewelry is an all-white jewelry. It's 9 women, 5 men. No cameras are allowed. So if you had planned on, like, I'm a vlogger, I'm a vlogger. I have 3 channels on YouTube. I do reports on news to celebrities, TV shows, movies, all that kind of stuff. We cannot bring our phones. You cannot bring your phones. So be prepared to leave your phone in the car. You will not be able to bring your phone. So don't try to slip it in your pocket or sneak it in your purse. No equipment. When you walk through that scanner, any kind of equipment that you have, a tape recorder, a phone, anything, they will confiscate it, or they will make you go back outside to your car. So just leave it in the car. Since I cover a lot of things like news and whatnot, I'm going to bring my notebook. Where's my little notebook? I'm gonna bring my notebook and I'm gonna bring my pen. So I'm gonna bring a notebook, my trusty notebook, and my pen. Courtrooms do not allow phones on. Yeah, not only this, but most courtrooms do not allow phones on, Betty White, but we can't even bring the phones in there. Unless you're with the press, you cannot bring any kind of recording equipment. So I just want to get that out there just in case somebody is thinking about coming. So, but yeah, so as far as that, I'm going to leave my phone. And I was kind of bummed out about that because y'all know, people who've been following me for years, all 3 of my YouTube channels, y'all know that I like to be recording from the scene, especially if it's a scene of a crime or, a case, a crash, or even positive things. Like, I like to, go live, and I like to, be on the scene and things like that. But again, let me go through this one more time. 1 second. Let me just bring up something else here. I got my laptop on, my other computer going. Okay. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Okay. Here it is, a trial. I got all these screens saved. Okay. Okay, I'm going to read this from the Omaha World Herald. For those of you who might not be familiar with the case or might not have been keeping up with the case, prosecutors do believe that Ty Thomas was killed at the river and dumped there. That's what they said in opening arguments on Tuesday. In Beatrice, Nebraska, where the trial has been taking place, both the prosecutors and the defense attorney agreed on one thing: that Peru State College student Tyler Thomas was never heard from again after a late night trip to a boat launch on the Missouri River in December of 2010, 10 years ago. But they gave juries wildly different explanations of what happened to the 19-year-old student from Omaha. Doug Warner of Nebraska Attorney General's office said that a fellow student who gave her a ride to the river, Joshua Keadle, was responsible for her death. She was killed at the river and dumped there, Warner said. But Keadle's court-appointed defense attorney said there could be many other explanations. Thomas, he told jurors, was upset and fallen down drunk that night and had been kicked out of a party after getting into arguments with her best friend. Despite not wearing a coat on the cold December night, Thomas said she was headed home to Omaha, even if I have to walk there, according to Jeff Pickens of the Nebraska Commission for Public Advocacy. Thomas also had told two men on social media that she was pregnant with their child, Pickens said. Other Facebook posts said the pregnancy had ended and that she was engaged. Thomas, whose body was never found, might have wanted to voluntarily disappear. This is what the defense is trying to say. Or she might have harmed herself and she might even still be alive, he said. But the family and friends, and we don't believe that. We believe he is responsible for her death. Excuse me. Now, the prosecutor said we believe the evidence will show that Mr. Keadle left Thomas at the river and she was alive at the time he left her at the river. The opening statements came at the start of what is expected to be a 3-week trial of Keadle, who was charged with first-degree murder in 2017, 7 years after Thomas was last seen. Keadle, authorities believe, was the last person to see the student, who was captain of a dance team at the Southeast Nebraska Peru College. Warner, the lead prosecutor, told the jury of 8 women and 4 men. I'm sorry, did I say that right last time? Yes, 8 women and 4 men that initially Keadle had denied picking up Thomas. But 4 days, and a lot of y'all remember this, back then when he first denied picking her up, 4 days after she disappeared on December 3rd of 2010, he changed his story, acknowledging that he had seen her walking near the campus, had driven her to the boat launch just outside of Peru. He told authorities that Thomas wanted a ride back to Omaha, back here, and that he agreed on one condition: sex. But after Thomas performed a sex act, this is what he's alleging. After she performed a sex act, she became upset and a struggle ensued, according to Keadle. He said he pushed her away and he eventually drove back to Peru, leaving her behind. I'm going to set that right there. After sex, he alleges they had sex. And after that, she became upset and a struggle ensued, according to Keadle. He said he pushed her away and he eventually drove back to Peru, leaving her behind at the river bank in the middle of the night. But Warner, during his opening arguments, said drag marks were found on the riverbank by investigators, suggesting that something had been dragged or dumped into the river. He also said Keadle had told classmates that he was 23 years old when he was actually 26 years old. Pickens, during his opening argument, said that there were bad facts for prosecutors as well as against his client, but that he would reconcile those bad facts later in the trial. He said the facts included that Keadle initially had lied to law enforcement and that he had searched the internet for information about whether fingerprints could be detected on a body recovered from water. Pickens said his client was concerned he could be held criminally liable if Thomas had accidentally died. When members of Thomas's family testified Tuesday, the defense attorney repeatedly asked if they had concerns about her mental state or whether she expressed concerns about excessive drinking or any pregnancy. LaTanya Thomas, Ty's mother, said her daughter had some anger problems in high school, but just before her disappearance, Peru State had approved her request to form a dance team to perform at athletic events. Ty's mother says Ty was proud of that dance team. It had something she could accomplish on her own, and that Ty was very happy. Keadle wasn't charged with murder until 2017 in relation to Thomas's death. And that came after Attorney General Doug Peterson, who attended a portion of today's court proceedings, took office and ordered another look at the case. By then, Keadle was in prison. As I said before, earlier in the live, Keadle was already in prison when he was charged for Ty's death. He was already in prison because he was convicted of sexually assaulting a teen in Fremont. Before that, the Thomas family filed a civil lawsuit claiming that Keadle was responsible for her death, and they did win that. This was a few years ago. They won a lawsuit. It was $2.6 billion, a record settlement. And even though it's very, very highly doubtful that he will pay anything or that they will recover anything, being that he's locked up on a long sentence for sexual assault, for one, still, they were awarded that settlement. A key witness also is expected to testify next week in a trial. It's a former prison cellmate of Keadle's who came forward after he was charged with murder to say Keadle had made some statements about Thomas's death and how authorities would never find her body. Now, this is regarding Ty Thomas. She went disappearing. She disappeared in 2010 from Peru State College. This trial is what we and her family and friends have been waiting for to finally happen. It was awesome when we first heard that they had charged them a couple of years ago with her disappearance, and finally, again, the trial starts this week. Fund was raised because of the fact that it's an hour and a half away where the trial is, and the family of Ty, they would have to go back and forth, a 3-hour trip, food, gas, all those kind of expenses needed to be taken care of. So we did promote a Cash App that her mother has started, and their funds that they needed has been collected. So thank you again to everybody who donated to that. Thank you to everybody who's been praying for Ty, and everybody, keep your hopes up regardless of what it seems like right now. Regardless if it seems like he has some more support than Ty, regardless of the all-white jury, regardless of the city where it's being taken place, a small white town, regardless of all that, keep praying, keep hopes up that he will be found guilty for Ty's death. And what I'm mainly wishing for, I don't know if it'll ever happen, but what I'm mainly wishing for is that he actually confessed to what happened. Because even if he was found guilty, that would give a lot of peace to the family and friends of Ty Thomas, but it would be more peace, more closure, I should say, more closure if he actually does testify. I don't know if that'll ever happen. Right now, he's already serving time for sexual assault against a teenager, and if he does get convicted for this crime, he could be facing a lot of time for that as well. So I don't know if maybe he'll try to plea out or anything like that. If they agree to that, if he tells what really happened, if they believe his story of what really happened, because he done lied already before. He lied in the beginning saying that he didn't even know her, that he didn't even take her there. And then he finally confessed 4 days later. And also, it was somebody back, how long ago was this? It was a couple of years ago. Somebody had came forward talking about Ty had been involved in a sexual trafficking ring. A sexual trafficking ring. Didn't nobody believe that? Didn't nobody believe that, especially those who really know Ty really well. But yeah, this was a while back in March of 2019. And somebody had came forward, some young woman had came forward, and she said that Ty was involved with some kind of sex trafficking ring. But again, there was no proof of that. There was no proof of that. We believe that he took Tyler to the river and he left her there. And he left her there. So as far as those that new theory that had came out last year, yeah, there mm-mm, mm-mm. But that's crazy. Let me see what it says here. Uh Yeah, here it is. Okay, yep, here it is. It was last year, in spring. It said an investigator testified a woman came forward at one point claiming Thomas was killed by a sex trafficker and buried near the Missouri River. I don't know where that woman came from, because that literally came out of, I mean, left field when that did happen. Some of y'all from here probably remember that last spring when that did happen, and I'm looking like, what? This got to be somebody that he know, that he didn't had, make up that story and say she was killed by a sex trafficker and dumped at the river. Anyway, but yeah, if y'all remember that, if y'all don't remember that, the lady who said it, she had said that she had been in a sex ring and that she had finally got away, and that Ty didn't make it. She didn't get away, and she was killed and dumped at the river. But that foolala, no, that didn't set well with nobody. That didn't set well with nobody. So again, we strongly believe that he is responsible for Ty's death, and this trial, we are hoping that it ends on the note that we wanted to, with him guilty and serving much more time than he's already in jail for right now. The fact that he is serving time for sexual assault, that made me, when he was arrested for that years ago, that made me really believe that he probably done something to Ty that she did not want him to do, and that she probably fought him, and that she probably threatened to expose him and report him and bring charges on him for rape or sexual assault, and that's why he got rid of her body. And that's basically what the prosecutors, that's basically what they believe too. That's basically what they believe. Yeah, it's crazy. I hope justice is served too, Betty Wright. I really do. But I'm gonna go down tomorrow morning. I gotta get up super early in the morning. It's gonna be me and y'all know Carmel Diva, my co-host. When we do like our interviews and things like that, and we talk about stories, and a lot of times on this channel, I'll do like reviews on like TV shows and things like that. I do them by myself. But normally when it comes to interviewing people or talking about different topics, it's Carmel Diva and I both, together, so basically the main concept of this channel, the Hood Table, is sisters from another mister, two friends, not related, but consider themselves sisters, You know how we do. That's my sister from my nest, mother nester. But anyway, court starts at 9 a.m. Empress Lisa, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So for those who have already been going down there, they suggest that you get there really early. So it takes an hour and a half to get there. So I would suggest maybe leaving around 6:30, 6:45-ish if you want to come to court tomorrow. It's going to be, they saying 3 weeks. Some people said 2 weeks. Some people say 3 weeks. I'm guessing 2 to 3 weeks. I'm going to just say that 2 to 3 weeks that the trial is going to be. Again, I'm going to try to go as often as I can. I can't go every day, but I do want to support Ty's family as often as I can by just showing up and them feeling the support from, the city that they're from, the city where Ty's from, her friends, the community, the family. So it really, like Betty White said earlier in the live, it really makes a big difference as far as, just imagine you're in a trial in a town where you have never been before. It's totally a different race there. Like not 100%, but mainly, white people there. You're black. You believe your daughter was killed by this white man. They have a lot of support there. His family, friends, because he has more access to his family there. And you don't have that many people there with you. Just imagine how that feels to walk past his family, or to walk past his attorneys, or to walk past the community who supports them, and you're there with maybe 2 or 3 people. You know what I mean? So it really makes a lot of difference when you show up and you show out. And that's why Robert, was advocating, if you can come out, as many people as you can, if you can afford to take the time off of work, or if you don't work and you have the opportunity to come to court, please come to court. Please show your face, show your support. It really means a lot. It really, really does mean a lot. So to my The Hood Table fam and to my Tanya's Primetime TV fam, I know some of y'all, support both of my platforms, but if you can, please feel free to come out. Again, the address is 612 Grant Street, Grant, 612 Grant Street in Beatrice, Nebraska. It's an hour and a half away, and Dodge County is on the way to Lincoln. If you head out the Lincoln way, that's the way you would go. That's the way that you go towards Lincoln. So again, it's an hour and a half trip. Court starts at 9 a.m. every day for the next 2 to 3 weeks. And along with my co-host Carmel Diva and some other people that I'm rolling with, will be down there to support tomorrow. And I'll be taking notes so I can come back and update you on what's going on for the people who cannot make it to court. And the news, they report, tidbits here and there, but I'm gonna try to take as many notes as I can, because again, we can't take our phone, we can't take no kind of recording devices. They are gonna make sure they strip you of all of that before you come into the courtroom. So don't even try to bring it in. Just leave it in the car or your truck or however you got there. Just leave it in your vehicle. And if you're like me, again, I have my little notebook. I already bought my little notebook. So I'm going to be keeping notes in the notebook. And then tomorrow night, after we come back from out of town, I will update you guys on what I've learned so far. I know some of her friends had testified yesterday, and they had asked, some of her friends yesterday about Ty and about where her mind was, and because of the fact that the prosecutors is trying to say, oh, she probably killed herself, or she probably ran off, or she probably still might be alive. One thing they had mentioned was Ty was, family oriented. And as far as holidays, she loved the holidays. She loved spending time with her family. There is no way that for the last 10 years, Ty would have missed out on, all kind of celebrations within the family, the holidays, birthdays, things like that in her family. They don't believe there's no way Ty would just be out there, just be out there, just ran away or took her own life. So I don't believe that either. The prosecutor, they're just trying to say all kind of things to give, the jury, all kind of different reasons why to assume or to think that Keadle didn't have anything to do with her murder. But the friend said, Ty was with them at a party the night of her disappearance, with all of them in December 10, and then she left to go home, but she never made it there. And that's exactly why prosecutors and a lot of us believe that Joshua Keadle is responsible for her death, and that he indeed killed Tyler Thomas. So on that note, you guys, I'm going to roll out of here. I got to get back to work. Y'all know I work from home, so I'm literally on my lunch break. recording this video to you guys live. So I'm gonna have to get my butt back on the clock. Make sure you guys are continually keeping Ty's mother, Latanya, her grandmother, her other family members and friends in your prayers, the community. Thanks again for stepping up with the Cash App. You guys rock. $1,600 in like less than 24 hours. $1,600. The family can drive down there and stay a week at a hotel. They have money for food, they have money for gas, they have money for, whatever they need. So again, thank you to the community who stepped up and supported, and thank you to everybody who's constantly praying and supporting the family. So thank you again, the Hood Table fam. Y'all already know. So again, thumbs up the live, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And those of you who might be coming down to court tomorrow, I will see you there. Feel free to walk up to me and say hello. Give me a hug. God bless you. Thanks for coming. All that kind of stuff. And let's support each other while we're down there. And especially, mainly support Ty's family. So again, you guys, stay blessed, be safe. Justice for Ty, O&E, stand up, represent, support, pray, and love. I'm out. Deuces.